Any Fairey Overdrive that you find today will be at least 40 plus years old. They can be expensive, noisy, or broken, and sometimes all three of those at the same time. They are relatively simple devices, but getting parts can be a problem and expensive. We bought 2 of them. Each one came with its own set of surprises. Welcome to the Overland Legend with me, Alan. Come and join Brian and I as we open these boxes and see if we wasted our money or found some gems. So today we're going to check out some overdrive. So one of the things that I wanted to do on this vehicle was get an overdrive, and I found one, and Brian actually got one at the same time. So now we've got 2 overdrives, and so we're just going to go through those, and it'll be interesting just to see what we bought, how much we paid, and what the condition is for what you get. So the first one is whose is it? Which one?
This is yours as arrived.
Okay, so this one I bought, and I got it, I paid 8,000 for it, and it is actually already been rebuilt. So it's been, the guy was going to reuse it, and so he had already redone it and taken it apart and put it together again and changed the seals. I don't know how many of the bearings and things he's changed, but so it's a complete. It's nice in that it's complete, so it's got everything except I don't have the little knob for here. So we've got that, and then otherwise you can see that it's been redone and it's got new seals in. I haven't even looked at it, I haven't opened it here, so today we'll have a look at that. And then the thing that we have seen already that I knew before I got it is this
Input gear.
The input gear, or the clutch sleeve here is worn, so that will definitely need to be fixed because it's
scalloping.
Yeah, it looks like little shark's teeth, and then when it's inside here, then there's that play. So that play is not going to be good. And then there's also on the inside here, there was also these little ridges, eh?
Oh yeah. So, well, firstly, those little teeth, they'll strip out. They'll basically just
eventually they'll strip.
They're permanently engaged. So whether you're in overdrive or not, those things are being used, and there's not the best of lubrication down there, so they wear out. And if you look at it from the outside, it looks fine, but the actual tooth surface is finished.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I pointed out to Alan here, inside you can see the little stripes where each one of those little rollers was sitting, because the overdrive wasn't used in overdrive much. It was in normal drive, and when it's in normal drive, then that bearing doesn't rotate and it beats. It beats out on the bearing surface, so you've got these little stripes inside here, and as a result, when you put that gear inside on those little, now you can see it if we turn around a bit. You can see them around.
Yeah, when you put the light on it, you can see.
Okay, so what those are little rub marks. So when the gear spins on there, it makes a noise. Actually goes grr. So as a result, when you put this lot together, it's actually going to hum. And you're going to wonder where the hum comes from, and it's that bearing. So unfortunately, that surface will need to be polished or replaced, cut out, remachined, put back in. And then possibly checking to see that these rollers are in fact round and they don't actually have a square spot on them. But that we will leave for the gear oaks to have a look-see, because once they've built it out, they'll see. It's very possible, in fact, if we take this bearing race off, what the inside looks like.
So we'll probably have to take
it could be a duplicate of that, but we can hope not. It looks pretty shiny from here, but that's not a surface that's being used. So we might pop this little circlip off here and have a look-see, just to know the extent of the problem. One can buy this, of course.
Yeah, these ones that is replaceable, because that's the main thing that wears in these. Then the gears inside, they don't look too bad. They actually look like they're straight, but you don't really know.
It's the same as looking at these from the front.
Yeah, from the front, you can't see them from the side. But if you look at these from the side, they probably should be similar to that.
We can try with mine.
Yeah, we can
try a good gear on the inside of that and see what sort of play you got.
Yeah, but so this one was obviously used, so that has to be replaced. So we'll do that, and then we'll have should we have a look inside here?
Let's pop the lid, yeah. To have a look. Okay, so
what is this?
They're metric. They're actually metric bolts.
The Fairey Overdrive was designed and manufactured by Fairey Engineering in the early 1970s. This mechanical device bolts onto the back of a Land Rover gearbox and was an official Land Rover accessory. The oil crisis in 1973 created a need for better fuel efficiency. The Overdrive acts like a fifth gear and also offers cruising comfort as a big benefit. Finding them nowadays is difficult, as production ceased in the 1980s after being taken over briefly by Superwinch.
Yeah, so on those little teeth, that little point there, this little tip wears down.
So it needs to be pointy.
Yeah, it needs to be pointy. They get shiny. These ones look pretty smart. Doesn't seem to be an issue. And then same thing on the little ring. You can see they got a nice sharpness to them. Oh, and symmetry. They don't have any specific shiny spots this side or that side. Usually they don't get eaten up if the gears were changed nicely. Then it's not really a problem. Okay, but that's that side. The gear in there also looks fine. Slightly shiny surface, no little pits or anything.
That one doesn't normally have a problem, does it?
No. It's just while you're there, peer at everything. But usually the synchros get beaten because that's like a user interface. The oak can stuff that up. And the gears, of course, if they darkened, then it got hot, and then you're going to have trouble. But that all looks great. Shall we pop it across the other side there? See if I can. No, we might have to. Is that it? No, that's only neutral, but that's all right. We can at least see. There you go. Okay, and now it's just, so there you can get a good view of it. It's nice and straight. Everything's very neat and tidy. That Oakie's happy. He floats around like that. And the gear itself is fine. Let's just put this gear in here. I just want to show you what you're actually getting so that one can see. So if we turn this, have we got a marker? Like a little white Coca pen or something. Yeah, just a sliver of that. We can stick it on there. That's right. Okay, so if we turn this around, they in sync. Yeah. So nothing's happening there. So the overdrive is disengaged. So if we pop this thing back into gear here, okay, that's neutral. Nothing's going to happen. Right. So that's the rate of change. Still seems to be the original bush. It probably doesn't do anything. It's merely a support for this tail end, because in the original there was a bearing on the end of the transfer case. So that's just the speed is actually not a whole lot happens. And that's all the difference, of course. That's what makes it all. That's what we bought. Okay, so that's that. Pop the lid on this one. I'll put the lid back on this one.
We then had a quick look at the linkages and found a rather interesting way that the linkage for Brian's worked.
The interesting thing I saw with yours, this is original as well. This is how I remember it to be, this whole assembly. Okay, it's obviously like that, but there it is. Now mine came with this sort of arrangement. No, it's different because this doesn't fit into the original box, so something changed. And this is possibly just made by some oak, I don't know, but it's done fairly neatly. It obviously mounts in a different point on the box. Yeah. Oh no, this one is this way around.
Okay.
That one's that way around, and it's longer because this comes out in the tunnel. It comes out in the tunnel. This one probably comes out in the seat box.
Yeah.
That's what happens. This thing goes in there.
Comes out the seat box.
Comes out the seat box.
Oh yes. Look.
So it comes out next to the handbrake on the seat box. And then
it's a forward backwards. Okay, let's get the other one.
Okay, here's number 2. Okay, this one comes in an original box and hole, so that's really fancy.
We're going to take it out here.
Yeah, we'll take it out here. So let's just put the bits out there.
So this is an original box. That's quite amazing.
Yeah, that. When I saw that, I thought that's interesting because somebody actually cared for it.
So this one you paid 6,000 rand.
I paid 6,000 for this one, and
so that's $150.
Yeah, so
US dollars.
Okay, just get those off there. All right, so this one is as is as well. But, okay, so this one has got, I've already found some issues with it, and that's why the people turned it down, or people didn't buy it. So, yeah, it is basically brand new. We can start on this end. So this gear is brand spanking new. So that's what a new gear should look like. Your gear. I should actually put some spray on. You can see the amount
you
of
can
wear
see it
that's
easily.
happened there.
Yeah, I mean, just.
So
I
if
mean,
you
this
know what
one's
you're looking
perfect,
for,
eh?
and this one's absolutely square. So when I saw it in the pictures, I saw this was still machined. If you see, this one's been running. So that means this has only been on for a little bit. So my suspicion is that this thing is new. The guy put it on, maybe put it behind a Chef 4.1 or a V8 or a something, and broke it. And once broken, that was that. Put it back in its box and we're finished. So, okay, so that gear is actually very nice. And if we look in here, you can see that is then also spotless.
Yeah, yes.
Except-
And you can see this, how nice this surface is
It's
here
very
also
nice.
compared to the
Except
other one.
while it was out, it was dropped. You see there's a whack here, and there's actually a crack there. You can see the impact mark here. There's an impact mark there. So getting this bush out was a bit tough. You can see it has been worked at slightly. But it was dropped at some point in its life, which is something that has to be repaired. So that has to be sorted. That little chipped tooth there has to be fixed. But that's not the biggest of the monster. So the other two bolts are actually lying inside. Okay, so the monster is there. So something happened. One wants to assume that it's eaten something. But
something got stuck in there. Jeez.
But if you look carefully, this is when I was observing it, but we're going to strip it out further. You can see the pressure point. It's just, I'll just hold that up like that so that we can get a good view.
Well, we can take it apart.
Yeah, we will, yeah. You can see that that's where the gear's been running, on that section. So this hasn't been used. So something is either completely out of whack in there, or that's how they run, but it looks like it's taken some load.
It was too small a gear or something.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe I got a big boober here, but maybe it's something else. We don't know yet.
Just looking at those little, these ones, they will also look very nice.
No, those
my
are-
ones look alright, but you can see these are basically, again,
Yeah,
brand new.
these ones are brand new, yes.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So
brand
that's
new.
what the new ones look like.
Yeah.
So they are absolutely perfect. So I saw some of these things in the photos before I bought it, and you can see, even though you got broken gears, the rest of the thing is new.
Yeah. So it's really
And,
just
and,
that gear.
and it actually had oil in it.
Yeah, and the oil was clean.
And
so
the
that's
oil-
a big,
yeah, it
also
spilt
always
out
a good sign how clean the oil
On
is.
Gareth's, there's the oil.
Yeah. And it's
And
not
it's
even dirty.
clean oil.
Yeah.
For an overdrive, that's great oil, and that comes out the depths of the sump in there. So it's not bad. So I suspect it was all in good nick, and it got abused in one way or another, and that was that. So fix the gears, you'll end up with everything else is perfect.
Okay, let's take this thing apart.
Okay, so you can just observe. Okay, that's just the cover. Okay, out it goes. Oops, there it is. Okay,
Okay, so that's that input gear.
yeah, so that's the input gear. Now you can clearly see those little teeth in there.
Yeah.
And if we took your gear,
And that bush.
what do I do with it? If we take your gear and try it on a good set of teeth, so we've got a little bit of wobble going on there, as opposed to like nothing.
There's basically nothing, yeah.
We've just got to try this gear on your one as well. Okay. And then
Okay,
for
so
the
that's
rest,
that.
it seems to be fine. Put those bits on there. Okay. Nothing else to fall out from this end? No. All right. And up we go again.
We were disassembling these from memory and not using the manual, and couldn't quite remember how to get the main bearing out the back. So I resorted to using the hammer a little bit. Luckily nothing major, but yeah, when you're disassembling these things, just make sure that you get the manual and check everything first, because it's simple, but if you try to get it out the wrong way, it's actually not going to go anywhere. It's coming. Can you get the other side? Okay, get the other side. Other side. Okay.
There it is. Okay. And we have some action. The interesting part is what's that gear like. So let's get this gear out. That would be
As we disassembled more and more of this overdrive, we could start having a look at the different gears and see what had happened to them and what condition they were in. But there were still lots of unknown things, and we were still trying to work out exactly what had happened here.
What's happening over there? That's weird. That's running in this needle bearing. So
That's the bust gear.
This is the gear that was running on the broken gear. So the curious question would be, why is it not running true?
It was a real mystery trying to work out what had happened to Brian's gearbox. But the more he looked,
There's no damage.
we actually started to work it out, and later on he even found out something else.
Looks like I also have some other problem now. I discovered this thing. Check this thing out. Bloody wobblies. And that's in the nice spot. I take it out here and I just try it in the front here. It's like a fucking, I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to have that whole thing re-sleeved or something, because I don't know how that got like that. Anyway, there it is.
It's always a possibility that it actually ate something.
Yeah, like something.
That actually something got in there, like a bolt or a washer or something.
That's what I think.
And it ate it, and then...
Because that's why it's got those holes in and the
Yeah, I mean,
chunks
some
out.
serious
Like
chunks. How did you
something-
get chunks out there
Yeah.
and not here? Otherwise, you would have stripped the gear clear.
But then there's nothing inside there.
Yeah, but it could have been opened or cleaned or something. I don't know. I mean, there's no teeth pieces. The
There's
oil's
no
reasonably
teeth.
clean.
Yeah.
So where's the bits gone?
Yeah.
Some like opened it, said, "Oh yes, like this is not lacquer," and put it together again.
No, yeah, or the thing got bust and then it made a big noise, and then the oak
Could have
it drained the oil out, all the bits came out, and then just put it back together again.
Yeah. So for me, I've got this gear to fix. I've got this one's. I suppose you can get away with it, but while we're at it, we might still fix it. That little bit of crappage happening there. Fix that, and then I've got this main part. They've got to.
You can still buy replacement gears for some of them, like the clutch sleeve, but some of the other gears are impossible to find. After assessing the damage to the gears, the plan was to have the damaged gears repaired by an engineering shop. In the next video, I'll show you what I did to repair my overdrive and how I rebuilt it. If that all goes well, and then hopefully I will be able to fit it in the vehicle and see if it all works. So please like and subscribe if you enjoyed that, and click notify if you want to know when the next video is up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.